Welcome to another episode of Unbiased Transfer Talks. And yeah, there's been a bit heating up in the transfer window. Been open 3 days now. I'm sure it's 3 days. Heating up for all clubs, including Arsenal. So today I've got a few for Arsenal and a few for some other clubs as well that are heating up a bit. So to start it off with Arsenal, Declan Rice, the second bid's incoming. It's said to be around 100 million. So hopefully that can be accepted. There's not much else to say on this. I said yesterday, we want the player, he wants us. Man City are lurking. I think that still might be a bit of like bullshit, but we'll see. But hopefully that second bid can get in and we can kind of get that one done. But I'm not going to stay on Rice too much because otherwise we'll be here probably every day speaking about Rice. But going on to the next player, Caicedo. Talks between Chelsea and Brighton look like it looks like he's going to be a Chelsea player. Talk between Chelsea and Brighton are going to start next week. The player side seems okay. They're advanced. They're advanced with the player and the personal terms, so that looks like it's not going to be a problem. He said he wanted Champions League football, but he's saying apparently the project at Chelsea's outweighing Champions League football, more like 300k a week in your bank account. But listen, if that's what a player wants, that's what a player wants, you know, so we can't hold it against him. But yeah, that's all on Caicedo. Arsenal, there's been no talk on it. I was hoping that maybe Arsenal are doing the like sly thing, let Chelsea get all the stuff done, put their bid in, and then maybe Arsenal gazumps them a little bit or like matches it and Caicedo comes to us, but I don't see that happening. On to the next player that's really heated up today, Kai Havertz to Arsenal. Now, I'm still 50-50 on this one. I still don't know. I still don't get it. But listen, I'm just going to go for the ride in the transfer. And then I ain't going to fully judge it until the end of the transfer window. And then I'll judge that signing. Because if the transfer window is not that great and he's one of the signings, then it's going to be different to if we have a good transfer window and he's one of the signings. But bid's going to be apparently made today. I've heard rumours that it's excess of 55 million, which is quite a lot, but we know 50 million got rejected for Real Madrid. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I really don't know about this one. So that's all really that's going on with that. But it is heating up. Players' personal terms agreed, everything like that. So that's not a problem. A rumour that surfaced today for Arsenal. Lavia from Southampton. Now, this could be the reason that we're not going for Caicedo. There's no real official source on this, so it could just be bullshit, rumours and that just been chucked out there because we're obviously not. They're saying we've withdrawn from Caicedo, so now they're chucking this in. But listen, Lavia, if we don't get Caicedo and we get Lavia, I won't be too angry, to be honest. I really highly rate Lavia. And I think he's a top player. And I think he makes a bit of sense as well because he's a bit younger than Caicedo. He probably hasn't got as much experience, but we've still got Partey. So for me, Partey can have another year as the main guy with Lavia there, or he can even break in, but there's not a lot of pressure on him to be the main guy straight away. So I don't mind that at all. The rumours are really heating up throughout the day today, but you know, Arsenal's Twitter fan base, they're just something else. The Arsenal Twitter fan base piss me off sometimes. Yeah, going on to another Arsenal target. I'm trying to rattle through these because I've got quite a few today, but it's Diaby from Leverkusen. Now, this is really heated up today, saying that for months we've been we've been talking to him and stuff. Never heard nothing of this. Apparently Newcastle were obviously in on him for like the last 17 months or something, or 12 months or whatever it is. And now we're favourites to get him. I would love the guy. I think he'd be a great backup to Saka to push Saka and a different option. You know, he's very pacey. Saka's not as pacey. So I think it's a great signing, you know. I think it's a great signing if we get him for a decent price. There's no fees that have been spoken about at the moment. It's just like, they're just saying we're in for him and we're favourites. It's an early rumour, you know. So that we'll keep an eye on that one for sure. And obviously he played with HAVERTZ at Leverkusen, so who knows if that's something we're looking at. Or a fault, but we have been linked to the RB a few times prior to this. This ain't just a new all of a sudden this guy we've never looked at, like HAVERTZ. Like this is, we've looked at him before. He's obviously been on our radar. Obviously next we got SALIBA. But yeah, Saliba's obviously signed his new contract. It's pretty much made official today. He got the here we go from Fabrizio. Yeah, it's seeming like it's a 4-year extension to his current deal, so he'll be on a 5-year contract, and I'm loving that deal. That's like a new signing for me. It really is, man. Saliba's such a talent, and with a 5-year contract on him, he's easily worth 120 million in my opinion. If you're looking at what everyone else is going for, it's just how much I think his value is. So yeah, Saliba, he's staying home, boys and girls. And anyone who don't support Arsenal watching this, yes, that one's really gassed me, I can't lie. Going on to news that's not Arsenal, City, they're looking at Kovacic still, which is the reason I don't know about this Rice stuff being true, because they seem to be really on to Kovacic. The player sold on the move, personal terms are not a problem at all. Why would it be? He's leaving Chelsea and going to City. There's not going to be a problem. Let's be real. Most people at Chelsea right now want to get out of Chelsea, so like the older players. And City and Chelsea are now in direct contact over the move. So I see this one getting done probably next week at some point. Great move for Kovacic. Someone made a really good point when they said, I'd like to see if it was Arsenal signing Kovacic, how people would have reacted to it compared to it being City. Would have people been melting down, Chelsea reject, this and that? I don't know. But it's going to be, he'll be a great player for City. I know he's a great player. I like Kovacic, and I think he will suit City. So that's a great signing for them if they get it done. Going to another City player, but a City player leaving, Bernardo Silva, heavily linked with PSG. Personal terms don't seem to be an issue. I mean, I don't get it for Bernardo Silva, like PSG, like really, like it might be good money, maybe he sees it. Like, for me, that's not a great move for him personally. Like he's leaving Man City that want to actually actively keep him to go there where they're losing a lot of their best players and stuff. I don't get it from his side, but listen, he might want to live in France. We don't know. And City have come out and said they won't stand in Bernardo Silva's way. If he wants to leave, they're going to let him go. City are very good at that. They when players are gone, and that's because their recruitment's so good that they're never actually like desperate to keep someone like that. By the time they get to the end of their contract, to the selling point, they're normally not actually, not to say they're not needed. Of course, they'd rather keep them, but like it's not like the end of the world if they leave. And lastly, we'll go on to seeing as it's Unbiased Sports, I'll give you a little news on Tottenham Hotspur and Kulusevski. They're currently discussing with Juve over the potential contract. They've wanted it lowered from the original agreed price. I can't understand why. It was still only 30 million or something that the price was. But yeah, I can't understand it. But Tottenham, obviously, they want to save a bit of money. You can't hold that. Juve will probably, Tottenham have probably looked at Juve's situation and said, look, they need money. Like, let's try and get a few million, 3-4 million knocked off of this price, you know, and fair play to them. If they get it knocked off, it's good. Like Spurs and Juve, yeah, their talks ongoing. And they're progressing well, apparently. So I guess Tottenham are getting what they want. And Kulusevski wants to stay at Spurs. So, yeah, well done to him. I like Kulu. I'd even probably take him as a sub for Saka. Like people saying he's better than Saka, relax, but he's a great impact player. That's how I see Kulu. He's an impact player. But yeah, that's all on today's show. It was a quicker one today. Tried to rattle through them. I'll be back hopefully over the weekend with some news. Hopefully some breaking news for Arsenal fans. But yeah, like, comment, subscribe, comment below everything you think. What transfers you like, what transfers you don't like, If you want Havertz, if you don't, what you think about the Caicedo news, all that stuff. Whatever you want to talk about transfer wise, talk about it below. Whatever team you support, we can talk about. So yeah, once again, like, share, subscribe. Peace.